and say hello. Um, Lori Tatum Welsh. I think I recognize you from Long and Foster. If that's right. I hope I'm right. If you guys can engage, I'm gonna give you all a like coaching call. So this will be really kind of awesome because you get to have like a what I would call a real personalized coaching experience if you want. If you want. I have some information. We are doing a webinar next week. If you did not sign up for that yet, Liz will put that in the chat. The webinar is on how to unlock your $15 million pipeline. Um, First, by identifying what's not working in your business and having a plan for that. Hi, Lori. And so if you have not done the Goldmine Pipeline Launch, and even if you have, honestly, if you've done your pipeline, here's what happens. Everyone who does this exercise, both with this webinar, so there's an introduction. The webinar is like an introduction to the 3-day challenge. And so we'll put the 3-day challenge in here. If you are already a coaching client, it will be free. The 3-day challenge is $97 for VIP, and the VIP is going to give you a little bit more of material. The VIP has 10 days of the playback of the recordings. The 3-day challenge is literally 2 hours a day, and you can devote, it's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The date's October 8th, 9th, and 10th, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. $57 general admission just gets you the 3 days, 2 hours a day. The VIP is going to get you a couple extra things. Number one, a digital version of the Goldmine Pipeline, the playbacks, and most importantly, a Q&A session with me at the end of day 3 at 3 p.m. So the times on this 3-day challenge are, again, October 8, 9, and 10. Liz will put we'll put in there the 3-day challenge link. And here's, I'm going to show it to you because it's pretty much says exactly what's going on. Let's see if I didn't do that correctly because you guys can't see it. We'll do a screen share. And here's the thing. This is how you can enroll and subscribe, register for the event. The 3-day challenge is an opportunity for you to actually get me walking you through filling the pipeline. Here's what happens. Even if you've already done the pipeline once, what you don't have is the coaching component of me saying, did you count these people? Did you count them twice? Did you count them once? I just uncovered another 40% of business that an agent actually has more than that. She went from 8 million to $14.5 million in a one coaching session with me. So the real truth is you need to fill the pipeline. Most of you have not done this Goldmine Pipeline. The 3-day challenge will actually help you to do the pipeline in 3 days. It's 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern every day, those 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you can register just by clicking the VIP and doing a checkout or clicking the general admission and doing the checkout. And again, if you are an existing client, you'll get a promo code so you can attend this as a VIP for obviously being a client. And this is a workshop. This is not a course. Like, this is not me talking. This is going to be you doing the work in real time with me in those 3 days. So the registration of next Wednesday's webinar is going to be, that's at 1 o'clock on Wednesday, September 24th. That webinar will prepare you for, it's kind of a precursor. The webinar is free. It's the precursor of this 3-day challenge. So if you are interested, or every one of you should do this. It's $97. It's 3 days. The first webinar, day 1, is free, September 24th. And then these 3 days are, again, October 8, 9, and 10 from 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern. And by the end of that, you will have launched your actual Goldmine Pipeline, and we will uncover, unlock, and get pen to paper and actually have you walk out of there with what should be right? If you're already at 10 million, we're going to add another 10 million to this. If you're already at 15 million, we're going to add another, who knows, right? It could be another 10 to 15 million dollars. I'm going to help you unlock business you don't count, that you're not counting, that you have been kind of blinders on, re-engineer the way that you look at leads, how you follow up with leads, how you get appointments, and we'll come after that. But this whole setup is to launch your Gold Mine pipeline and get it on paper. And so sign up for that. While I have you, I would love it if you went into the chat. And I see some people have already done this. That's awesome. I'm getting the notifications. You will get the email that has the link for the 3 days. So if you already signed up for the 3-day challenge, you'll get the link. You'll get a couple of emails beforehand from us saying, here's the 3-day challenge Zoom link. And you'll have that every day with a text and a link and the whole reminder. Mark your calendars. This is going to be great. And listen, for $97 to get coached by me for 6 hours, I think that's a hella deal. Okay. Normally, I charge over $500 an hour for coaching. Okay. So it's, that is a deal. So you will generate business. This will be profitable for you. I promise. I'm actually, only making it $97 so that we can get you in and get you busy and really maximize this last quarter, put you in a position that you maximize your sales for the end of the year. There's a lot of business that can be done between now and the end of the year. And I think we have more than half of the industry goes to sleep come like November 1st. I feel like right after Halloween, it's overtime, right? Sleepy, hot, like go to bed. Everyone just like crashes out and they're like, the year's over. Worse off, you actually start. Here's what's crazy. Everyone starts business planning and they forget that there's still business in this year. So I'm not against business planning for 2026. I'm always business planning all year, every month, every year, right? It's all year. It's not just about November 1 or October. I hear agents say, well, I'm already starting my business plan. Well, what are you doing the rest of this year? Because the year's not over. And the second best quarter of the year is the last quarter. So this is the time all of you can put into place. I think it's funny you're all Long and Foster agents. This might have just gone out to Foster agents. To be honest, I'm laughing because literally all of you are at LNF. You're different, way different cities. But think about this. You have between now and the end of the year. I mean, it is only September 18th. And the fourth quarter can start right now. It does not have to start October 1st. You can start and change your life, change the trajectory today. You don't have to wait for something to happen. Okay. This event will give you the best real estate sales life ever. Okay. So Nadia, I'd love you to have Penny join. She will love this. And I think it is just literally a game changer. All right. So that webinar, though, is going to be key because in the webinar, I'm going to share with you what it is that is not working and the things that are, how do I get out of this share? And the things that are happening in your life, that whether it's, how you look at leads, the way that you approach lead generation, the way you do anything, right? So if you are like, well, I don't want to, I need you to focus on 2 things, right? Number 1 is filling the pipeline, and number 2 is getting appointments. If you have appointments in your calendar, you're already halfway there, right? This is a game of constantly generating opportunities, period. If you're saying they're going, well, I have 3 closings right now, that's awesome. But where are the next 3? Do you know who they are? Do you have them set up? Are they teed up and ready to go? Do you have consistent and predictable income every single month? Typically, you don't. You might have a couple of good months followed by a dip, right? That roller coaster ride is no fun. So I'm going to ask you, since it's all of you, to give me some challenges you're having right now that I can address. You can bring up AI, you can bring up marketing, video, you can bring up anything, listings, negotiations. You can bring up anything that you're having a challenge with. If it's maybe it's lead generation, maybe it's getting appointments. I don't know what your challenges are right now, but I would ask each of you to go into the chat and give me an idea or a sense of what it is that is problematic right now in your business. Kevin, I know you're dealing with, you're doing a lot with expireds, which I love. I don't know the status of that yet, but I know you were adding that to your lead generation the last time we spoke. Nadia, I know you are ready to go get leads that do not come with a referral fee or a cost. We all can go get business that is organic. And if you write down organic business, your organic business does not cost anything. The organic business is coming from people you know. I just did an interview yesterday with one of our top agents in coaching. She's at Keller Williams in Manhattan. Okay. Her name is Melissa Leifer. She has a $40 million business, between 35 and $40 million. She has a couple, like two people on her team, maybe I think she has three. Her average sale price is about $1.2 million. It wasn't always. She actually talks about the fact that she was, broke. She calls it, I was a broke actress trying to make it in acting school and waiting to, she said I had no money. I saw people selling houses and I thought, oh my gosh, could I do that? And being less than 5 foot tall, like I am, or about the same, um, she had a vision and she said, I'm going to sell houses. I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to do it even when I don't want to, and even when I'm scared to do it, and even when I don't know what I'm doing. So what I love about her grit and what I love about her tenacity is that, it doesn't matter if your why is big enough and you have a drive and you have momentum and you have hunger. If I am not hungry for something, I'm never going to do anything, right? If I want to lose 10 pounds, I need to be every decision I make, if I want it bad enough, right? If I want it bad enough, if I want to make $25,000 in a month, I need to say, what do I need to do to go get that? And so if you are sitting there going, somebody just signed up for coaching recently, and she has a serious obligation, a debt. And she was on the phone and she was very upset, like fearful. And she said to me, your confidence makes me confident. She said, I don't know what I'm doing. Brand new agent. She's like, I have to sell houses. I don't have a choice. I'm not getting a job. Can't afford daycare. I had a couple of women like this. They are like, I can't do the daycare and I have to sell houses. And, one went on to make, go from 40 grand a year in revenue in her personal income to making $15,000 a month. Let me think about that. From 40,000 a year annual salary at a desk job at home to $15,000 in a month in less than 90 days with the Gold Mine pipeline. Literally, that's what did it. So now she has an average sale price of about 800. That does help. I get it. Sell one of those 800,000 houses, you're going to make 15K. But what could you do right now to change the trajectory of the rest of your year? You might have to make some small changes. You might have to make some large ones. I don't know your situation. But what we say yes to, we are saying no to something else, right? So if it's not something that's going to serve you to help you make more money, I don't think it goes on your list today, right? If you're bogged down in admin work, but you like, right? If you like doing admin work, that's going to be something that you're going to say, I'm more comfortable here. So maybe you have to get out of your comfort zone and call 15 to 25 people a day. Okay. If you do that, what would that turn into? Those dollar producing hours will turn into appointments, which turn into what? Listings and sales. So I have a client in Houston who literally their exclusive team. Um, I do. I actually coach their team, and so privately, and so they would probably never be on here. But this agent had 5 sales, right? 5 sales from texting 35 people in a program we have called 20-minute text sprint. Now, if you're not in coaching with us, she made 5 deals from this one lead gen activity. Does everybody hear what I just said? Average sale price 500,000. 5 transactions. It's $2.5 million from texting 35 people with a script that we use. So high energy equals high results, high action, high results. 10x action. That's way bigger than like, oh, I think I might do one thing. Right? More than doing one thing, I need to do 10 things. One of the challenges is people's overall reticence to buy or sell. I get that. Thank you, Lori. And so what happens is when they are not consumer confidence, right? Has to be there, and we have to be adding some value. And I think what happens is if you can add value to help people make a decision, right? If you can actually get them out of being reserved or saying, I don't know if now is the right time. I want you to think like, how could you change? And again, I don't ever want us to change people to, what's the word? Like, I don't want people to be, um, I don't want people, I don't want you to push anybody to move if they don't want to move. But what I want you to do is add value, right? If you don't add value to help them make a decision, then you're just not adding any value. So, what does it look like to have a conversation with somebody that is reserved or confused or not sure or hesitant to move forward? Well, I would say to them, and Lori, I hope this helps you. Oh, coerce, right? I'm never going to say that. But here's what happens when I say to somebody, here's the best way to talk people. I want you to talk them into having a conversation with you that's productive. That's what you're doing. You're actually saying to them, I understand you may have some reservations about moving. I'd like to discuss what they are. What are your concerns? They're going to tell you, and they may tell you, I don't know what my house is worth. I don't know. Lori, tell me some of the pushback you get back when people say, well, we're not really blah, blah, blah. Like, what is you can either unmute and tell me, or you can put it in the chat. Think about it. If I talk to somebody and I say, is it in your best financial interest to move now or to wait until this? Yeah, go ahead.
I've had a couple of people say, well, I'm not comfortable with the rates. The rates are high and, I'm looking for the rates to come down. And I said, well, if you look historically, the rates that we have now, like 6%, seem to be average. And what happened a couple of years ago was an aberration. And so
Right,
typically,
that's right.
like rates, I don't know, I guess it was in the 80s or whenever, they were up to almost 19%. So I don't know. I said, you can wait now, what the rates are around 6.5%. But it seemed like about a year and a half ago, they were up to 8. So 6 looks pretty good compared to 8. So, you buy now. No one has what do you call a crystal ball, so we don't really know where the rates are going to be. But if you're thinking about it, if you want to do it, this would seem to be the time to do it. But they're still like, I don't know, I don't know, I'm not feeling good about the rates, and you know,
So let me do this. Do they have a house to sell?
no, these are buyers.
Okay. First
Um,
first time buyers or or
no, actually not. Like, it's people have, bought and sold before, so it's not whatever. But
but they don't
you
have a
know,
house to sell.
yeah, no, these are buyers.
Yeah. So
And I had a couple of sellers, but they're like, oh, my job is kind of shaky, so I don't know what's going to happen. And, if I sell, I don't know where I'm going to go. It's just a lot of just, you know,
and when they say that when they say I don't know where I'm going to go, is that another city because of the job, or is that another they just don't know what house they would go by because they don't think
they just don't know where
oh,
they would go to, you
okay.
know,
Yeah.
because their
Oh,
job, like somebody worked for the IRS, is a lot of people have gotten laid off at the IRS. And, somebody worked somewhere else, and a lot of people got laid off. So,
yeah.
and I get it because it's, a lot of people are getting laid off. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So the best advice you get, so I will tell you that we have a term I got from a good friend of mine. You wouldn't know him. His name is Alan Dalton. He actually was the CEO of Realtor.com when they invented Realtor.com. He was the CEO of NAR, or Realtor.com. I think it was just Realtor.com. Anyway, he is part of Home Services. He's not now, he retired, but he is like an icon in the industry. And Alan, he's a genius. And Alan coined this phrase when we think about sphere of influence. He said, we always say sphere of influence. Do we ever think of influencing our sphere? So rewrite that phrase to instead of sphere of influence, I want you to say influence your sphere. And you have influence over people. You have relationship equity with people. You have a lot of knowledge. You can help people and guide them. And so when one of my friends years ago said, like I've known him since I was like a baby, and he worked for my parents' company, and was best friends with. He's like my son's godfather. He's best friends with my brother. I've known him forever. And Todd said to me, I'm mad at you. I said, why? And he said, well, you didn't make me move. I would have moved last year if you had told me to move. And I said, what? And he said, here's what he said to me. And I was a newer agent. Thank God this happened early in my career. He said, Sherri, you are like my stockbroker for real estate. And when my
Mm.
stockbroker tells me to sell, I sell. When it tells me to buy, I buy. So if you had said to me, hey, you need to consider moving, I would have sold my house. And I said, oh my God. Now, I, everywhere in the Sherri Johnson Academy and in my courses, you'll hear me say, you know, I'm like your stockbroker for real estate. I mean, I'm not selling stocks, I'm not a stockbroker, but I am, and if you believe you are, and you add tremendous educational marketing value, so like write that down, educational marketing. My marketing or my value is in giving people a lot of information. And so, Lori and everyone, you should talk to people and say, let's have a strategy conversation about whether it's in your best financial interest to move now or in the next year. And if nothing else, you'll know how much your house is worth if they have a house to sell. If nothing else, I can come and see your house. You can tell me what you would do to it, and I can save you time and money and tell you what to invest in and what remodeling projects bring the highest ROI for you to sell now or later. Um, but I want to have a conversation that's a strategy conversation about whether it makes sense to move or not. We'll talk about where you want to live. We'll talk about the interest rates, and every one of you should take out your chat GPT for your specific market areas. And I know where most of you are. Um, and ask chat GPT what the impact was of 1/4% reduction in the interest rate last month, or I guess it was still this month. I don't even know what month it's in. Maybe it was a couple weeks ago. Here's what I know. I did this in many markets. Baltimore was one of them. I coach a big team at Long and Foster, and we did this exercise. And what it said was, 5 million, well, actually 250 million more people could now buy a home. Didn't mean they would buy a home. It just means they could nationally. If you break that down by your markets, you could ask ChatGPT to tell you the pros and cons of the interest rate drop, how you would package that and talk to a buyer about it if they were thinking about buying or they're hesitant to buy. What are
Okay.
5 key points that you should tell them that would be a benefit to making a move now relative to, you know, previous markets? We are not in 2021. Sellers think it's 2021. Buyers
Yeah.
think it's 2008. And it's neither. It's neither. So when you go in a chat and you can create this talk track and it will help you when you make your phone calls. You could just call everybody and say, "Hey, did you know that the interest rate dropped?" And I know it still doesn't seem like it's 3% like it was 5 years ago, but that was 5 years ago. And that was a false, I mean, it was manufactured drop. Okay. Everything is relative. And unfortunately, it was fun for some people for a while, then it wasn't fun. Getting 27 offers on one house. Now we have people who are in a house, yeah, they don't want to move there at 3%, but they also don't have a job, so they can't pay. It's all relative. Every single point of this is we have corrections. I'm 29 years in the business, and I can tell you I've seen it every 10 years, like from '05. I came into the industry and it was not a great market. The woman I interviewed yesterday, she said something really amazing, and I agree with her. Every market is an opportunity. However,
Mm.
the best opportunities are the challenging markets because most agents don't know how to sell houses in the challenging markets. You do. You have a better sort of cut above value proposition. You can compete at a higher level and win every time, but you have to have a strategy. If you don't have a strategy, you're just kind of walking through real estate life thinking, I hope somebody calls me. That's not really going to get you deals on the board or, you know, signs in yards. I want you to have conversations with your sphere. Put the people on the pipeline, call your past client list, which is really your client list. Call those people and influence your sphere. Do not coerce them. Just say, hey, I'm calling. I didn't know if you knew these 3 things. You might not cover all 3. You might say, hey, I drove by your house. Your yard looks awesome. I was calling because I'm taking new clients. I thought you might know somebody. Every time we say that to a handful of 25, 40, 50 people, inevitably, beyond a doubt, every time I get agent clients who say, I did that and I called somebody who I just sold a house to 3 years ago and they want to sell again. Like, how's that possible? Well, because people are fluid, they're moving, right? If you look at your list on your client list and you say, oh my God, I sold these people a house, 10 years ago. I see them on Facebook. Their kids are graduated. The house is too big. We kind of know when people are going to move before they do. That's a person to call and say, interest rates dropping, even though you are like, they're not 3%, doesn't matter. That drop brought another 25,000 buyers into the market in Sugar Falls, Ohio. So if you can ask ChatGPT, tell me how many new buyers came into the market in Leesburg, in Richmond, in wherever you live, Bethesda, wherever you are. And when you
Okay.
ask, go ahead.
No, no, I was listening to what you're saying.
Yeah, good. And here's what's going to happen. You do a postcard mailing into some neighborhoods where there's a demand for, like, if I were to tell you right now how to go get some listings right now, I would say the last couple sales you just had, you should
Mhm.
be going to them and going to those neighborhoods and literally canvassing the neighborhood with something, a door hanger, a flyer, a mailer, a pass out. You pass it out yourself, walking around, canvassing the neighborhood. I don't call it door knocking. I think you're being you. Drive down the street, stop, see somebody, have a conversation with them. I have agents that do 25 to plus million. They do this on every sale. They get more listings out of it. Like news flash, right? There are going to be 2 to 3 more houses that pop up in the next 2 to 12 months. Why not make them yours? You can and you will if you don't just sell that house and move on. Everybody sells a house and they move on. It's like it drives me nuts. You have so much leverage out of that one house that you listed. We had a Long and Foster agent on last Thursday. I think Kevin, you were on. And here's the deal. Cordell did the open house. Sherri Johnson make 50 grand open house. He specifically talked about my strategy to shake people's hands, which I never thought we were going to do 5 years ago or whatever. I really didn't. I'm okay doing it. I just really thought we were never going to be a society that shook hands again. Anyway, my handshaking strategy landed him 7 new clients that all have a house to sell.
Wow.
It's 14 potential transactions.
Wow.
And it was $6+ million. I think I calculated 157,000 in GCI. Hello. So are we strategic or are we just kind of winging it? I guarantee that for the majority of your lives in real estate, and some of you are on a team and some aren't, and some of you are solo agents, here's the thing. You're sitting on a gold mine called your personal database. Please take it out. Comb through it. Call the people. Like, how many times I've had a couple of different good and bad stories. One bad story, a couple of them. Bad stories. I didn't call the expireds, and 3 of them got listed. And they're like, I didn't act fast enough, Sherri. I go, well, okay, those are relisted now. Move on. Right? Here's the real bad ones. I called my sphere and they already bought a house. I called my sphere and they already sold their house. I just saw someone who I sold a house to 5 years ago listed their house. I want to be like sick, right? So your sphere is the easiest connecting group of people. You are not bothering them. You are adding relationship equity to these people. That is not a bad thing. You want them to be talking to you. Yes, I get it. It's been a while. People always say, well, what if I haven't talked to these people in 3 years? Okay, so what? Call them up right now and say, hey, it has been a while. How are you? I have been, you know, you have to say you're sorry. Just say, I cannot believe it's been this long. I would love for us to get together. How are you? Right? And people just rip the band-aid off. There's nothing weird. It's only weird if you say, I haven't called you in a while, and now I'm calling you and I feel weird. Then it makes it weird. So all you have to say is, how are you? Oh my God, how are the kids? I saw your pictures on Facebook. You guys look amazing. How was your trip? I apologize. I have not, I can't believe 2 years have gone by. They're gonna say, hey, it's okay. We get it. We're busy too. So please take out your lists, get online with people right now. Do not wait.
Can I
Book,
ask a question?
of course.
These people that you haven't spoken to in years, when you call them and you catch up, oh, how's the fam, the kids, whatever. Do you bring the real estate up then, or is it like that's like an introductory call and then maybe you call them back like maybe a week or
No,
two later?
no, I would say I would talk about their family and their occupation. It's FORD, Ford. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. You're not going to cover all 4, but you could call somebody and say, how's a job? Oh my gosh, how are you? What's going on? How was that trip you took? Like you talk about 2 things and then say, look, I'm not going to keep you. I'd love to see you. If there's a time we can get together to grab a drink, glass of wine, cup of coffee, I'd love to stop by, whatever, right? I'd love to see you, actually, if that's someone you're that close to, invite them to do something. If they're not, then just skip over that and say, first of all, you've been in your house for a while. I'm doing a complimentary market analysis and a price, a benchmark price opinion for all my clients, whether they're moving or not. And I'm going to send you one. I just want to make sure I have the right email address for you. And then
Yeah.
I have lisasmith@gmail.com. Is that so good? And she's going to say yes. And you say, great. So I'm going to send that to you. Additionally, I'm taking new clients for this last quarter of the year. I would love to help any of your friends, family members, neighbors, or coworkers. And here's how you ask: who may be moving, yeah, now or in the next 2 years, in the next 3 months or the next 3 years. It doesn't matter. I'm not on any time schedule. I just like to help anyone you know. Do who do you know that I can help? And that is your talk track. You can text that, you can say it, you can text it. And if you text it, someone, ask a question at the end. When can we get together? What are you doing for that? Whatever you say, they are going to have to answer. That's why a good question is helpful at the end of that. Um, I need to jump off, but here's what I'd like. Is everybody here registered for the webinar on the 24th? That is next Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Excellent. And if you didn't see that email, again, Liz will make sure we send, there's the link for the webinar on the 24th. That is Unlock the $15 million Pipeline. The 3-day challenge is Goldmine Pipeline 3-day challenge. Nadia will send you a link. You can join with a coupon code and have VIP. Lori, if you haven't signed up for this 3-day challenge, I would suggest it. You can do that in the link, and we'll make sure that we send that link out to all 3 of you today with a way to purchase. And Nadia, you will be getting an email for coaching clients. If you're interested in coaching, schedule a call right on my website, sherrijohnson.com. And if you would like to learn about our coaching programs, how they will help you literally make 150,000 or more in your first year of coaching with us, please sign up for that. And I will see all of you next Wednesday. There's no Catalyst call next Thursday because of this big webinar that we're doing. So I'll see you on Wednesday, the 24th, 1 p.m. Eastern. It is about a 45-minute webinar. And then from that, you will literally want to join that 3-day challenge. Okay.
Awesome.
Great to see
Thank
you
you.
all. Thanks for being here. Say hi to everybody. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye bye.